Hi guys, and welcome to the Family Fudge. Today I'm going to share with you all of my favorite things from the month of April. But this video is going to be a little bit different than usual because usually I like to share all of the favorite products from the month, the books I've been reading, the shows I've been watching, and things like that. But this month I'm going to be sharing all of my favorite experiences. We had a lot of firsts this month, some milestones. We took another trip to Disneyland and experienced Pixar Fest. And of course we had our big trip over to the East Coast. And the highlight of that trip was meeting this gal. So stay tuned and I will share this all with you. Okay guys, now before I jump right in, if you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button and go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you're a fan of favorite things videos. Now let's get started. Okay guys, now I have to be honest with you, when I was trying to decide what I wanted to share for this video, I had to pull out my phone and I had to pull out my planner to remember all of the things that we did. It was kind of like a big whirlwind. I don't think I slept very much and I'm having a hard time remembering all of the things. So I went to Instagram and I looked through my pictures to figure out what we actually did. And the very first thing is we had a big milestone with Griffin, my youngest child. He finally got his first haircut. And it was really special because my mom was the one who did it for him. Now my mom's actually been a hairdresser since before I was born, so she's super experienced and always does a great job. Now as you can see, Griffin's hair was way too long. He'd never had a haircut before and he definitely needed one, but he wasn't a big fan. I ended up bribing him with a squishy toy that I found at Target in the dollar spot. This one was scented like vanilla. I'm all about bribes and distractions when it comes time for haircuts. When we were done, he didn't look like a baby anymore, he looked like a toddler. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but that's okay. Now while we were there, my mom went ahead and gave Mackenzie a pretty drastic haircut as well. Her hair was way too long and the tangles were just too much every day to take care of. So she lost about 8 inches of hair. Much easier to take care of. Now the next experience on our list is Disney related. I feel like I can't talk about my favorite things without talking about something related to Disney because I love Disney and you guys know I have that goal of becoming a Disney social media mom. So any chance we get to go to Disney, we take it. Now I really wanted to go there for the new Pixar Fest that's happening right now. But you guys, if you don't already know, I like to do hotel reviews every time we go to Disney as well. There's a lot of information about hotels online, but not a lot of video where you actually get to see what it really looks like. And so every time we go there, I try to do a different review video. So we were actually invited to come and review the Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel, which we'd never stayed at before. So that's really why we went to do this hotel review, but we definitely fit in as much park time as possible. Now I do get the comment, Disney again, but I tell you every time there's something new to see, and even though we go so often, there's always something that we don't get to see that we run out of time to do. But this time we definitely focused on a lot of the Pixar Fest items. We tried a lot of new foods, we got to see the parades, and the new fireworks were amazing. Now for the fireworks, we actually had a really special experience. To get a good spot for the fireworks, you kind of have to camp out at least an hour or more ahead of time. So that's what we did. We got the kids in the stroller, we gave them popcorn, and we were just waiting for the fireworks. And about 10 minutes before they started, a cast member came and asked the whole family if we wanted to go watch the fireworks from the VIP seated area, which is like right in front of the castle. I'm sure people have to pay a ton of money to sit there. And we were like, sure, definitely, let's go. I thought maybe she was joking, but she wasn't joking. So we went and watched from the dead center and it was amazing. If you ever get the chance to go to Pixar Fest and see these, I highly recommend it. And now on to the highlight of the month, which was our trip over to the East Coast, which I'd actually never been in that part of the country before, and it was beautiful. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably already seen a lot of the pictures from that trip and the Instagram stories. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I totally invite you to do that. I post a lot of pictures there, and that's where I kind of just put the day-to-day life type stuff over there. So definitely follow me on Instagram. Now, if you follow Fallon over at Moss Family TV on YouTube, you've probably already seen some of her footage from when we went there. And if you'd like to check out her video, I'll go ahead and link it down below. We had so much fun together. We made a dessert. We filled our house full of smoke because we almost burnt the dessert, but it was really fun. So first up, I should probably explain why we went in the first place. Now, through this YouTube channel, I've had a lot of opportunities to work with brands and companies, and this opportunity came along and I jumped on it. I was so excited. So the Michelin company invited us to come out there with a bunch of other social media people to learn about the truth about worn tires. So we went to their test track to learn all about it, and all of this information will be in a separate video if you're curious. It was actually really fascinating. I got behind of a test car and tested out tire conditions on a wet track. We were like slipping and sliding all over the place. It was crazy. But yeah, future video for that. But that's why we went. But we made sure to go a couple of days in advance so we could experience more in the area while we were there. And what I was most excited about doing was going over to Georgia to meet with Fallon and her family for their first time. I've actually been following her on YouTube for quite a long time, and I really feel like we're good friends on YouTube, but it's different when you finally get to meet somebody in person. And I have to tell you guys, if you follow her, you'll know that she's a really sweet lady, but in person, she's just as sweet. She's the same person in real life as she is in her videos, and her family, they were adorable. I got to meet all of her kids, and surprisingly her kids were a little bit nervous at first, and they were kind of shy and reserved, but not for long. They definitely warmed up to us. Now I have to say, we didn't actually tell Fallon that we were coming until the day before we came, because I wasn't quite sure if we would make it and if it would all work out, but it totally did, and I was so glad to meet her. Now while we were there, her son Tyler had a dentist appointment, so while they went to the dentist, we actually went shopping to buy everything we would need to have a cookout. So I went to all the stores that Fallon normally goes to. We went to a store called Ingles, and we also went to Walmart. And it was almost like I was getting to live a day in her life and see all the things that she sees on a normal basis. Now, they were actually gone to the dentist for several hours, so we had a lot of time to sightsee in the area as well. So the first place we went to was a town called Helen. And it was really interesting because the whole town looks like a German village. There are houses and businesses that all look decorated like they belong in the Alps. It's actually a really pretty area, and I've been told it's a very popular weekend destination. Now, after we visited the little German village, we also went to a place called Babyland General Hospital. And I remember seeing this on the map thinking, wow, there's a hospital called Babyland. That's really interesting, because I thought it was a real hospital. But really what it is a huge building that looks like an old southern plantation, and inside they have a museum for Cabbage Patch dolls. I kid you not. This area of the country is actually where Cabbage Patch dolls were invented, and so they have a museum there and a gift shop. And of course, I love Cabbage Patch dolls. I used to have them when I was little, and I actually still have my first Cabbage Patch doll today. Let me show her to you. Okay guys, I'm back from my closet. I had to grab her from the top shelf, and that's kind of where I keep all of my treasures from before I was married. So I've had this little Cabbage Patch doll since I was 2 years old, and her name is Sally. So the museum was actually really interesting. I didn't end up buying anything because they were like really expensive, like $60 or more for each little doll, but it was really fun to look. So after we explored the area, we went back to Fallon's house and we had a cookout. We made some hot dogs and some steaks, some coleslaw. It was really fun. And then we tried to make a peach cobbler, which didn't turn out very well. I think we just added too much for the little pan that we were using, and it overflowed in the oven and then started filling the house with smoke. But it's okay. We cleaned up the spill and we transferred the dessert to a different dish, and it turned out just fine. So we ended up leaving Fallon's house after 9 p.m. It was super late. I was really sad to go, but I was super happy that we got to meet her and her family. But we didn't go to a hotel at that point. We actually drove all the way to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which was about 3 hours away. And it was dark, it was windy, we weren't sure where we were going because we'd never been there before, so it was a little bit scary, but we made it. So the whole reason that we went to Pigeon Forge is because we wanted to check out Dollywood. You guys know I love Disneyland and theme parks in general, so I couldn't wait to try out Dollywood. But you guys, we only had 2 hours to be at the park. They didn't open until 10 a.m. and later that evening we had to be back in South Carolina for this dinner with Michelin, like the whole reason we were supposed to be there. So we definitely couldn't miss it. So we tried to do as many of the wild rides in 2 hours as we possibly could. And let me just say, coming from Disneyland, Dollywood has some huge, scary roller coasters. And I think we did them all. In the rain. It was raining the whole time we were there, but there was nothing we could do about it, so we just had the best time we could. Now, Pigeon Forge itself is amazing. I had no idea that there were so many touristy things there. They have this one street, I think it's just called the Parkway, where they just have attraction after attraction. There's go-karting and museums and shows, and there's a zoo, and there's just so many things to do. I had no idea. And I really wish we had more time to explore those things, but maybe next trip. Now, Dollywood itself, other than the huge roller coasters, was actually really interesting because their theming was so good, like on Disney level theming. Everything looked old-timey. It looked like it was from Tennessee or that sort of area of the country. It was really cool. Okay friends, now let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been to Pigeon Forge or Dollywood. Let me know what your favorite things are. I'm really hoping to go back, but this time bring the kids, and I really hope that we get to meet up with Fallon and Moss Family TV again someday because they were super sweet. If you'd like to check out her channel, I'll go ahead and link it down below as well. I know a lot of you are probably already subscribed to her because she is awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for this favorite things video. I had a lot of fun sharing all of these experiences with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.